Donald Trump has a pudding brain, and it is actively leaking out of his ears. This isn't even an exaggeration or a joke. It is incredibly serious because the mainstream media refuses to cover or recognize Donald Trump's very real cognitive decline, even when he presents it to them. And he surely did tonight at a black tie dinner in which he was screaming, swearing, losing his mind, and struggling to speak to a very silent and confused crowd. We're going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before Donald Trump got to his black tie event tonight, he first sent out an insane message to Pam Bondi, which is really just him showing us in public that he's breaking the law. But he was asked about it here. And before we get into his speech, I think we need to respond to this.
No, I just want people to act. They have to act. And we want to act fast. You know, they were ruthless and vicious. I was impeached twice. I was indicted 5 times. It turned out to be a fake deal. And we have to act fast. One way or the other. One way or the other. They're guilty. They're not guilty. We have to act fast. If they're not guilty, that's fine. If they are guilty or if they should be charged, they should be charged. And we have to do it now.
I think it's very important that we take note of why Donald Trump posted that Truth Social message, really an impeachable offense demanding the Attorney General, who should be independent of the president, not simply an extension of his law-breaking. Donald Trump has been very public with his corruption and criminality because he understands how brain broken the media is. He understands that if he does this all in public, they'll be like, oh, well, that's just Trump being Trump. They'll react for 24 hours and then move on to the next very public distraction from Donald Trump. But this isn't a distraction. This is real. This is him instructing his attorney general to go after his political opponents, or there will not just be a retribution for Democrats, but for Pam Bondi. Her groveling apparently hasn't been enough for Donald Trump on Fox, and so she actually has to bring it to the courts, which is never going to happen because these Democrats haven't broken the law. You start to believe that Donald Trump is as dumb as his supporters. Do you really think Pam Bondi can arrest Barack Obama, Adam Schiff, for what? It doesn't make any sense. But at this point, he's deluded himself with all of the yes men around him and the power that he's accumulated because Republicans continue to capitulate, that I guess he does think he can just jail his opponents. He certainly thinks everyone loves him enough to. Just listen to this crazy monologue right here.
On the world stage, we're once again putting America first, and that's what we do. We put America, we'll help others, but we have to put America first. Exactly as George Washington would have wanted. He would have voted for us, George Washington. We had a man who rated me the #3 president of all time. He said only superseded by George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. And the host of the show said, oh, are you in trouble? Trump is going to be so angry at you when he hears that he's #3. But we'll take that. I don't know how many have done that. He actually said, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald J. Trump. I said, I like that guy very much.
So, of course, Donald Trump is never much of a cogent speaker, and we are going to get into the moments in which he couldn't speak during this speech. But what is he talking about? Not the George Washington, that's classic Trump, but the America first. I caught you saying America first. Who in America first? The billionaires? You've certainly made sure their issues are prioritized, their issues being giant tax cuts. But is the billions that you send for Israel to carry out a genocide with our tax dollars, is that America first? Tariffs that are destroying American businesses or manufacturing jobs are getting shipped overseas while the working class pay what is a tax in the form of your tariffs. Is that America first? The no new wars means actually no, we're going to war with Venezuela and we want to get back into Afghanistan. Apparently that's America first. None of this is America first, which is why Donald Trump is trying to spin up a new headline with his drug price crackdown that he just couldn't actually understand or say.
Because I announced the amount, it was 0.25%. I was so proud. But now I'm going to bring them down 1,300%. Think of this. 1,000%, 500%, 200%, whatever, different. And I'm really proud of that. But at the
I want to ask the question, does he
understand math? But what a dumb question that would be to ask about Donald Trump. No, he doesn't understand what he's talking about. He can barely talk. He couldn't talk when he was describing all of the wars he stopped. And it was right before he got into his swearing meltdown. But take a look.
Armenia and Azerbaijan, going on for years. They came to my office, the two leaders, two great guys. One was there 22 years, one was there 7. And they both said during the entire term of their office, all they did was kill people on the other side. And now they're sitting in my office, and they're at the Oval Office. It's pretty wide. And they had one over here, one over there. And slowly, over the course of about an hour, they came close. And at the end of an hour, we were hugging each other and holding hands. It was an amazing thing, and we settled that war. That was not settleable, as the expression goes. Cambodia and Armenia, it was just starting, and it was a bad one. Think of that. We have, let's see, Cambodia, Armenia. We have Kosovo, Serbia, Israel, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia. That's a beauty. They built a little dam in Ethiopia that's like the largest dam in the world.
Donald Trump at this point is just like listing off countries and pretending that they're next to each other or we're in conflict. He doesn't really know what he's saying. He doesn't really know what he stopped. He continues to tell the story of the two presidents who hugged it out at the end. But there is clearly one president who is still living rent-free in his mind, and that's Joe Biden, who he was swearing about right here.
The very angry, mean Biden. You know, Biden was always a mean guy, but never a smart guy. You know, even you go back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, he was a stupid guy, but he was always a mean son of a bitch, you know? How's it working? Not working too well for him right now, as that says. So when you start feeling sorry for him, remember, he was a bad guy. And I created the first...
Yeah, his brain is cooked. What are you talking about? And I have to just like go bird's eye view here. If Joe Biden ever said very publicly Donald Trump was a son of a bitch, which he is a son of a bitch, it would be a MAGA meltdown. It would be Hillary Clinton deplorables 2.0. When Joe Biden alluded to the fact that MAGA was trash, which was, I think, the last 24-hour stretch that I was happy because it was right before Halloween. And so I think it was Megyn Kelly. It must have been Megyn Kelly who literally dressed up as garbage. Like Joe Biden's words got MAGA to be like, oh, we're trash, then we'll dress up like trash. It's like, you are trash. A lot of you are white trash. Some of you are just trash crash. But yeah, Megyn Kelly, you kind of nailed that one. Not that I want to give you any credit. But this is something that is so, like, it's so in contrast with how Democrats are allowed to talk and Republicans are allowed to talk. Every fucking flyover state, Oklahoma, 5th in education, 52nd in the nation and like feeding kids, all of those horribly run, and I can say this because Gavin Newsom does, like shitty Republican states, they always want to be like, we don't want to be like California. We don't want to be like New York, or we don't want to, be like Chicago. Why? Your places are terrible. You have run them into the ground. Who wants to live in Oklahoma? Sorry to my friends in Oklahoma, but the governance is terrible. New York is awesome. LA is great. Multiculturalism is what makes America America. Yet these people get to be up on their stoop and say, oh, Gavin Newsom runs a shitty little state. But if Gavin Newsom ever said that about Missouri or Oklahoma or you name it, they would lose their mind. So Donald Trump gets to call Joe Biden the son of a bitch and it's all laughs. But if we aptly describe Charlie Kirk as a bigot and a racist and a vile slob, what Marco Rubio gets to take away my citizenship? Is that how this works? It's such bullshit, this double standard, where for some reason Democrats, we have to take the high road. I'm tired of the high road. What did the high road get us? Fuck the high road. Let's get down in the mud. Let's start slinging it. Let's start pointing out how awful these people are. I don't care. Clearly, Donald Trump doesn't like it when we talk about him all the time. Listen to what he said right here.
We have a problem because these people are crazy. The Democrats, they've gone They have a serious case of what's known as, which is actually a disease, I think. They're going to put it down. Are they going to list that? Dr. Oz, are they going to list, you know what I'm talking about, right? Trump derangement syndrome, is that? Why don't we list that on Wednesday? Let's do the more important ones first. No, it's a serious disease. It's a mental disorder.
I've never had the appropriate time to bring this up on the show, but I think this is talking about the Trump derangement syndrome. But Carolyn Levitt, who I think I hate more than anyone else in this administration. I don't know if y'all followed the creator who does like the videos where she pretends to be Carolyn Levitt. She makes like funny little crosses. That's besides the point. Carolyn Levitt does this thing where she posts, like Trump will be having a news conference and it will be played on every channel because he's the president. And she's like, we've got everyone's attention. Everyone's paying attention to us. And I'm like, you're the president. Like, he's the president, you idiots. Like, you didn't do anything special by being on TV because you're making an announcement. Oh, it just pisses me off. I'm sorry. But that's the whole, oh, you have Trump derangement syndrome. He's the president who's breaking the country. Do you want me to not talk about it? It's important. I wish I didn't have to. I'd love to be just like a regular 22-year-old enjoying life a bit, but I have to deal with a fucking fascist in the White House. So yeah, sorry if I'm talking about the guy a lot. I think it's important to call out the wannabe dictator and point out what's wrong with him. God, it's not derangement. It is rightful and important to call out especially lies like this in the city that I live in.
That's not happening anymore. We have a safe city. The scum is gone, and I'll tell you, it's going to get, I don't know how much better it can get. They said we're down 87%.
All of the scum is gone. Gavin Newsom put out a tweet today in which he said, it's going to be a bad day for Kristi Noem. He then, an hour later, went on to announce crackdown on this disgusting Trump immigration policy that he's fighting back. MAGA had a full-on conniption. You can't use this language. This is dangerous. We're sending the Secret Service after you. Shut up. And then Donald Trump gets to say people in D.C. are scum, and it's fine. That language is totally fine. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. That's right, we're going to use whatever language we want. We're going to call Donald Trump a big fat fucking fatso and say that he's pretty scummy and that Charlie Kirk was bile. That's the language that we're using on this show from now on. So if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe, but I have just hit a point where I'm fed up, and that's how we're going to talk. And that's okay. So I hope some of you are on board with that journey. We're going to have a lot more fun because I'm fed up. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. You can tell me if you don't like my language. And you can also subscribe to my Substack. A free or paid subscription is one of the best ways to support me. Keep on fighting. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.